Do you think you could have stayed in Orlando your whole career if you look back on what you had and you guys went to an NBA Finals?
No. I don't think a lot of people know, what went on behind closed doors, and I would never put that business out there. Just keep it, keep it in the future. But there's a lot of things that happened behind closed doors, but that happened in the past. It's made me a stronger person. No doubt. I had a great time in Orlando. I just felt like at the time that I asked to be traded, I was too comfortable, and I needed to grow a little bit more. It had nothing to do with the fans or anything like that. I enjoyed every minute of being in Orlando, and just seeing the city and the city grow. We went from a team where nobody really talked about us, and they called us Orlando Tragic, to a pretty good team, that made the finals and, did a lot of great things. And I made a lot of great relationships with a lot of people in Orlando. So, I just felt like I had to grow up, and, certain situations forced me to grow.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.